Put down your pens, grab your headphones, and turn off the television. It's time for your favorite podcast show that supports people like you and me. Available on all podcast channels and on YouTube. It's the Dr. Bryant Speaks podcast show and your host, Dr. Bryant.
Let's talk about the era, the performances and the sacrifices. We're going to combine them now. You know, again, the whole topic is veterans, but let's discuss the era of our veterans. I mentioned World War I, where we actually had an original name, but more recently, let's talk about World War II, because I believe we still have one more veteran out there, or maybe a few more. It's hard to keep track. I get different postings. I'm looking at the VA posting. They said the last World War II vet passed away, but then I hear the oldest living World War II vet. So let's say, for the argument's sake, we still got a few of them out there. Okay, so that was pretty extreme. World War II, I kid you not. That was amazing time. Korea, wow. I've been to Korea. I was stationed there. It gets cold there. And for those veterans in the early 50s, my goodness, to have to go through that, losing toes, losing body limbs, that was something else. My Vietnam vets that were drafted, all I can say is I'm sorry. I have friends that even currently right now that I know how they're able to manage their existence, and being able to go through day after day is beyond my comprehension, because I know what I have to deal with. And to be able to, where I had to worry about either, landmine, road mines, IEDs, or whatever, or a kid walking across the road, a woman walking across the road, they had these individuals coming out of trees, coming up from underground tunnels. I mean, you just did not know at what angle, direction. I can't even imagine. Iraq, Afghanistan, all the battles in between, Panama, Somalia, Egypt, etc. We had so many of these things, but the thing is, there's no difference. Not one was worse or greater than the other. And again, I want to make sure I'm very clear on this. I'm not talking about Memorial Day, because that's a whole nother conversation. What I'm talking about is that we have veterans who have committed the ultimate sacrifice by leaving their lives behind to go protect our freedoms. That is why we have the respect, and that is why we recognize these individuals, because it's not over for them. They still have things that they carry every day. And that includes their memories, their friends they've lost. That means they have to adapt to society. Some of you may know I'm a part of a motorcycle club. It's called the Buffalo Soldiers. And it's one of the largest motorcycle clubs in the world. And I say world deliberately because we actually have a chapter in South Korea. Now, I say that and share that because one of the reasons I joined the motorcycle club is because I was watching the History Channel years ago. And after I saw the story of Harley Davidson and got to be proud of the Harley and the sacrifice the company made through the Depression, and they had to sell patents just to be able to survive. I mean, just knowing it's an American company and what they did. And I was already riding a bike. I was riding a Honda. I had a Honda CBR at the time, and I was actually considering upgrading because I think I was about 30-ish, and I was like, okay, crotch rocket thing, I'm getting a little too old for it. So I wanted to switch, and I was looking at, because I was already part of the Honda family, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get a VTX. I don't even know if they still have these bikes. I just know that was kind of a soft tail looking version. And I think my driving reason and purpose at the time was because I knew I couldn't afford a Harley. So that's probably why. Because I remember the VTX at the time couldn't have been more than like 12 grand, something like that. So after the show of watching Harley Davidson, the history of the Hells Angels came on. I was intrigued. And now it wasn't so much about, the crime or whatever else that they have been allegedly been doing and all that, and the FBI trying to take them down, blah, blah, blah. That's not here nor there for me to worry about. What I pulled away from that was how these veterans, specifically out of Vietnam, returned home and they felt that they did not belong. And they found a brotherhood and they figured out a way to survive because they couldn't adapt to regular society. That was me. That was literally how I felt when I got home. I remember to this day, the day I stepped off that airplane and how I felt. I was literally proud. I got off the plane. I was still wearing my Class A's. I will say I kind of loosened up the necktie a little bit. So, I wasn't technically in regulation. But the point is, I was happy about what I was representing. I got out the plane. And it wasn't long before I just started feeling something different. So it's important for you to understand that these are the things that we carry all the time as veterans. So again, it is important for us to be proud, because if that's what you're going to give us is one day to be acknowledged, I guess I'll take it. At least I know I will. I want to talk about misconceptions. So first of all, I'm going to put on my professor hat. So it is Veterans Day, not veteran apostrophe S, okay? It's Veterans Day. And the reason why is no apostrophe S, which a lot of people tend to do, is because if you put apostrophe S, you're insinuating that it belongs to one vet. Remember, I'm not going to go into it. This is not an English class, but just remember to put veterans with an S on it. Leave off the apostrophe, please. And I already insinuated we're not going to get into Memorial Day, okay? I know I'm still here alive, and hopefully I'll be around for a lot longer. And although I know some brothers who are no longer here, and there's hundreds and thousands of others, we're going to talk about that when that time comes. Because Memorial is just that. It's a memory. It's a memory to remember. And we're going to definitely do that. But there are veterans who are here alive today and who need to be recognized for what they've done. In this world, most people are very sympathetic to veterans. And I could not be more happy, I guess I'll use that word. Could not be more pleased to that. And so there's a military spouse I know. Her name is JD Collins. She's a blogger and author. You can look her up. Her website is semidelicatebalance.com. SEMI, delicatebalance.com. And JD, she posted something that I want to share with you. Because like her, there's so many people, not just military spouses, but people in general, who try to do what they can to recognize the military personnel. So let me share some things that JD posted. And I told JD that I was going to do this. So yes, I do have her permission. And like all information that I actually take and share with you, it'll be on the YouTube page where there's a link and you can follow up and read it. Now, JD has about 30 of these. I'm not sharing 30. Okay. This show would be a lot longer. I'm only going to share probably about 12 or so. But these are some great quotes that I want to give you. All right, let's talk about some of these. Honor to the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears his country's cause. Honor also to the citizen who cares for his brother in the field and serves as he best can. the same cause. That was quoted by Abraham Lincoln. A hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. Quoted by Joseph Campbell. You probably have to use that one on Memorial Day. America's veterans embody the ideals upon which America was founded more than 229 years ago. Steve Byer. For the veteran, thank you for bravely doing what you're called to do so we can safely do what we're free to do. I like that one. In the face of impossible odds, people who love this country can change it. That comes from our former president, Barack Obama. On this Veterans Day, let us remember the service of our veterans and let us renew our national promise to fulfill our sacred obligations to our veterans and their families who have sacrificed so much so that we can live free. Quoted by Dan Lipinski. This is one of the reasons why I do this show, because it's not just the sacrifice of vets, it's also families as well. My heroes are those who risk their lives every day to protect our world and make it a better place. Police, firefighters, and members of our armed services. Armed forces. That's quoted from Sidney Sheldon. To those in uniform serving today, and to those who have served in the past, we honor you today and every day. The willingness of America's veterans to sacrifice for our country has earned them our lasting gratitude. Jeff Miller. We often take for granted the very things that deserve our gratitude. Cynthia Ozick. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. That's pretty powerful. Again, I'll have to use that for Memorial Day. How important it is for us to recognize and celebrate our heroes and sheroes. That's from one of my favorite poets, Maya Angelou. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Freedom is never free. Honoring the sacrifices many have made for our country in the name of freedom and democracy is the very foundation of Veterans Day. Quoted from Charles B. Rango. And the last one I have is quoted from Winston Churchill. Never was so much owed by so many to so few. All right, so that's kind of powerful. I know, I get it. So let's talk about, I'm going to change gears here. And I want to share what Veterans Day means to a veteran. Now, if you're not a veteran, I'm giving you a little insight. If you are a veteran, I hope that I represented you well. And again, I'm not speaking for you, but I think I have a pretty good consensus. So I hope you enjoy my perception of what Veterans Day means to a veteran. So obviously, this day, when it happens, we come upon it. And I think some of the things that we experience is that it's a reminder of the things we lost. It's a reminder of the pain, challenges, fear, anger, and soreness. It's a reminder of some new friends and brothers and sisters. It's a reminder of mentors and jerks. It's a reminder of our VA appointment and or our disability check that is not enough. It's a reminder of the ex-wife or wives, boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, etc. It's a reminder of how much we like the smell of gun oil. It's a reminder of how much we hate scorpions and desert heat. It's a reminder of our gig line when we get dressed. It's a reminder of keeping our hair off the collar. That's for the ladies. It's a reminder of blousing pants in the boots. It's a reminder of D&C, drill and ceremony. And depending on your military era, it's a reminder of being excited to receive mail, or a reminder of being excited to see an email, or a reminder of being excited to see an Instagram message. It's a reminder of how much you hated looking up regulations. It's a reminder of avoiding an officer so you did not have to salute. And if you're a newly commissioned officer, it's a reminder of searching for an enlisted so you can await his or her salute. It's a reminder of how much we hated standing in formation for an award or retirement ceremony. Unless, of course, you're the one that's the recipient. And speaking of which, it's a reminder of keeping your knees slightly bent and your arms just right to keep the blood flowing. It's a reminder of hospital corner bed making. It's a reminder of counting down your last 6 months, even to the last few days, talking about how short you are. It's a reminder of possibly wishing you were still in the military if you felt you left a bit too early, because life on the outside has been a challenge. So we are all experiencing different things, but I can assure you we're all in this together. Again, that is my show. I want to thank you for listening. To all my veterans and families out there, please, please be blessed and know that I'm speaking to you. But more importantly, someone is always listening. And that someone is not just me. My name is Dr. Bryant. I'm your host. Please be safe. I look forward to the next show.